So earlier this week, I did my YouTube show that I do every day about the New York Jets from the Marty Lyons Celebrity Golf Classic. And shout out to Marty and his foundation, their 40th annual charity golf tournament. They've raised $45 million since Marty started his foundation. Marty is as good of a human being as you will find. And it was great to be at the event, did a show, and I had my buddy Fireman Ed on to talk about the upcoming Jet season. And Fireman Ed said on my show that a good friend of his ran into Robert Saleh at the American Century Championship, which is a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe every year. And Ed's friend was wearing a Jet hat. And Saleh apparently saw this guy at the event. And according to Ed, Saleh told this fan that the Titans were going to kick the Jets' ass in week 1. So today, Jared Stillman, who covers the Titans locally and is not afraid to ask a ballsy question in that media market, asked Saleh, did you in fact say to a Jet fan that you were going to kick the Jets' ass week 1?
I don't know, man. I was just made aware of it like 15 minutes ago. I must have had over 1,000 fan interactions at that event, so who knows? But, I mean, isn't that the objective anyway, though, man? Like, I don't think the Jets are coming here week 1 to sit at the 50-yard line, roast marshmallows, and talk about our summers. So we're getting after it, they're getting after it, and may the best team win.
Didn't deny it. And Saleh just always puts his foot in his mouth, does he not? He's texted with Joe Beningo about Zach Wilson. You know, he's buddy-buddy with all the people in this media market. Again, I think Saleh is a hell of a defensive coach. He was not a good head coach. We'll see how he does in Tennessee, but can the Jets show up and win that game? If you're Aaron Glenn, can you show some balls? Can I say that? And come out and have your team ready to go and use that as motivation? It shouldn't be that hard to find motivation, all right? You started 0-7 last year. Most people think you're a terrible coach. Most people think the Jets aren't any good. It shouldn't be that hard to be motivated, ready to go in week 1. All right, you got a bunch of former Jets that Saleh brought in there. All right, like if you're a Jet player, can you be fired up, ready to go, and win week 1? Look, if Tavondre Sweat's hamstring heal up fast and he gets himself into shape and he's ready to go wreck that game week 1 against his old team. Again, Robert Saleh is telling people that he's going to kick the Jets' ass week 1. If that doesn't fire up the Jets, come on, man. Show us something. Show us something. If you can win week 1, the Jets can have a season. I'll outline you the path to being relevant into the holiday months. You ready? You win week 1. Who do the Jets play? Week 2? The Packers. Not easy, but you're home. They didn't win a game last year without Micah Parsons. He's not going to be ready for week 2. You play the Bears and you play the Lions after that. Can you just find a way to win one of those games? I'm not asking to win all 3 or 2. I'm asking you to win 1. Win a game you're not supposed to. You know, the Jets did this with Saleh in 2022. They beat Denver and Denver. They beat Green Bay and Green Bay. They won games that at the beginning of the year, you looked at the Jets schedule and said they have no chance. They beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Remember that? Zach Wilson led a game-winning drive down 10 in the fourth quarter. That actually happened. Like, win a game you're not supposed to. So win week 1, win a game you're not supposed to. All of a sudden, the Jets are 2-2 before they play the Cleveland Browns at MetLife Stadium in week 5. Can I be 3-2? Right? Again, if you're 3-2, you're having a season. The year the Jets were sucking for Sam, remember that? Josh McCown's the starter. They're going to be the worst team in football. They were 3-2 that year. It does happen. All right, teams could actually get off to an okay start early in the year when teams are just figuring out who they are as a team. Can you win week 1 against Saleh, who's running his mouth telling Jet fans he's going to kick their ass week 1? Can you win week 1 and then win one of your next 3 before you play the Browns and you're 3-2? That gets you to October. Let's say you lose to the Patriots in New England. You're 3-3. Your next 2 games are home games against the Dolphins, who might be the worst team in the NFL, and the Raiders, who were the worst team in the league a year ago. Again, I'm not asking for much as a fan of this franchise that has not made the playoffs in 15 years and has not won more than 7 games in a decade. I'm asking you to be 4-4 through 8. Be fake good. Be relevant. That's what Aaron Glenn has to do if he wants to save his job. Otherwise, he's gone. If they start 0-4, if they lose to Saleh, and then it snowballs like it did last year when they lost to Rodgers in the opener, and they're looking at an 0-4, 0-5 start, you're going to have people questioning, does Aaron Glenn make it to the end of the season at that point? Or would Woody Johnson make an in-season change, and here comes Frank Reich as the interim, as if that will change anything? But again, you hear those comments from Saleh. He didn't deny it. He basically said, yeah, I told a Jet fan that we're going to kick their ass. Can the Jets be ready to play? Show some balls. Show us something, man. Please, for the love of God. Quick break. We'll come right back. Jake Asman in for Michael K. Lots still to do as we take you till 3 o'clock right here on 880 ESPN New York. The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players: Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to, and check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today. As far as the Jets go with the optimism there, I mean, I mentioned David Bailey at the start. The young players in this team, that's where the optimism lies. The young players like David Bailey, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, D'Angelo Pons, year 2 of Armand Membu, Mason Taylor, year 3 of Olu Fashanu. The Jets have a good offensive line. They have some foundational pieces in place, but it's a coach and quarterback league, and they have to figure that out. You'll figure out Aaron Glenn, if he's your coach, very quickly this year. Where are all the people telling me I was nuts for my take when the schedule came out in May that week 1 is a must-win? I know Don LaGreca said it was a hack take. I stand by it, Don. Week 1 is a must-win for the New York Jets because now people actually looked at their schedule and said, oh, wait a second. They play the Packers, they play the Lions, and the Bears after week 1? Yeah, they could be 0-4. That's my whole point. It could spiral like it did last year when they started 0-7. And if you start 0-4, the coach is done. He's dead coach walking. It's over. It's over. The fan base is going to root for losses at that point. MetLife will be a ghost town, as it should be in that scenario. Week 1 is a must-win. You can't lose to Robert Saleh. What do you think the conversation around the Jets is going to be that whole week? You got to get out to a decent start. For all his warts as a head coach, Robert Saleh was 6-3 in his second year. Remember that? 7-4 with Mike White. They were fake good for a lot of that year. They weren't good. They were fake good. 6-3, 7-4. Actually beat the Bills, right? Won a division game, won a novel concept, won some tough road games in Denver and Green Bay that year. And it was built because of the young players who immediately contributed, right? Sauce Gardner was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie, won Rookie of the Year. Garrett Wilson, Rookie of the Year. Breece Hall was incredible before he got hurt that season. It was because of the young players. Like that's why the Jets have to get off to a good start. You got to build some sort of momentum. You got to prove that last year was just an awful first impression by Aaron Glenn, and he hired a better coaching staff. He's got more stability at the position with Geno Smith, and the Jets are in a much better spot. But week 1 is a must-win, and it's good to hear some people on this radio station recognizing that. If they lose week 1, the Jets season's over. Over. I'll say it again. If they lose week 1, the Jets season is done. I don't believe Aaron Glenn and the New York Jets are going to recover from losing to Robert Saleh in the opener. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I will be in Nashville for that game. And I will be rooting like hell for the Jets to win because I look at that as the Jets Super Bowl this year. I think they're winning 6 games max this season. But it better be week 1 as one of those 6. How do they win week 1? Well, David Bailey had 3 sacks at practice today. That's how. Wrecks the game. Forces turnovers. Maybe the Jets get an interception. What a novel concept that would be, huh?